Hello and welcome to Matt's Rocks. Today I'm going to do, seeing as how I did the last sample, got tired of my flat lap, and I've got a bunch of stuff sitting here beside my cabin machine. I'm going to do 3 more samples on my cabin machine. I'm not messing with that flat lap anymore. This one I already took to the flat lap once, but I didn't finish it because my wheels were wore out. It wasn't putting any more scrapes in it or scratches in it, but it just wasn't taking it off fast enough. So that was when my discs were bad. And I'm finally going to do something with the end piece on that Stromatolite. I'm going to make a sample out of it so you can see what it looked like raw before it was cut. And then you can see what the inside looks like without the staining. This does have some nice reddish color up here on the top, but other than that, it's just, but it seems to show. I thought I had more pieces of it sitting over here. Maybe not. Oh, there it is. I do have one other piece that's big enough to make something out of, but I don't know that it's, this one's a little better than the one I have a second piece here, I think. No, I threw it in the tumbling. Oh, no, there it is. The two pieces off of one of the ends, I cut it in half and they don't show the stromatolite formation as well. This side's a little better, but it's still, I'm just going to throw it in the tumbling. And I may make some kind of cab out of this, but it's not going to be this size. I've got this fracture going along here, so it probably won't stay on there. Plus it's not the same thickness all the way across, just because of the way I had to cut it. But we'll do these. I also found another end piece here that I haven't put a polish on yet on that agatized petrified wood. And I can polish up this back side of it. And you can see through it pretty good. And all of these others, I don't think, you might be able to see through the stromatolite a little bit, but this is really agatized. That's why it's all so much yellow in there. But it still kind of looks like wood. That's why I don't want to break it up, is if I break it up, it's not going to look like wood anymore. I did a few of those slabs, or made a few cabs out of those. Yeah, the stromatolite lets through very little, but it does show a little bit of light, but it's not going to show up very well. I may just do all, well, I'll get that later. I dropped that small little cab that I'm going to throw in the tumbling. I dropped it and it went all the way to the back end of the table, hit the back brace on the, between the back legs and the back. I'm not crawling underneath there to get it. I may just go ahead and do all 3 pieces of wood today and get those out of the way. If I've got time, I'll do this one too. I've got to be done. Well, I don't have to necessarily have to have it done today. I may do all 4 of them on the same video anyway, just for the heck of it. Because I've got 2. One for tonight is the Brazilian agate nodule. It's going up tonight for Wednesday. Late tonight, about 10 o'clock, I'll start it and it'll be up there by midnight or a little after. And then the second one is a Brazilian cab that I did after that. One of these. Waterline Brazilian agates that I can't cut up either because it just wouldn't make sense. If I cut out all of the other stuff, you wouldn't be able to see any light through this, and it wouldn't be all that good looking of a cab, just this big. And that's way too big to wear on your neck. So I don't think I'll be making a cab out of that. I'll be making samples out of that and the heel that came with it, or the heel that's the last of it. But here we go. Let's go ahead and get started. I'll do this one first. This one's got very few spall marks on it, and I'm not going to use these two wheels on any of these because I don't need to, for one, and for two, I won't be able to do the whole face without getting too close to either edge and gouging it with long V-shaped gouges, deep gouges. So I'll just do it with these four wheels, so it'll go a little quicker. Let's get started. Let's do this one. This one's got a fracture going down through here. It's got several fractures in through here. This fracture here that comes across here. That's why I'm not cutting this up. I may be able to get a cab out of right there. There's a fracture running through here. And they go all the way through, as you can see. Some of them, they might be healed, but these ones with the yellow in them, you can see that they're made out of crystals, so it's healed with crystals, which means it's going to break out really easy. Some metal on that one. Metal from a saw blade or something. Okay, let's go back to I've got a chip coming off around this edge, but I don't think I'm going to do anything about it. I will go around and knock what little sharp edges there are on for this. Plus there's a little bit of druzy on this stuff around here. That's the inner bark. That's another reason why I'm leaving it a sample, because you can tell that's bark. So you know it's wood, even though it doesn't really look like wood. I ain't never seen no wood that color, or with those kind of patterns and colors. Well, I said colors already, didn't I? Oh, I got a gouge right there. It's a deep gouge. I don't remember seeing that. I must have hit that wheel. I don't know how, though. Well, it didn't take long. Ah, there's some more of it. Must have been there the whole time. Wow, why does the gouge come out easier than these kerf marks? It's a whole lot deeper. Maybe there's a curve in the stone right there. Man, must be a low spot. It's just curve marks, it's not a gouge. And they're still there. They're getting smaller, but also getting tired of working on it. I've had enough of spending too much time on a rock. I got him. Okay, and for a minute there I thought I'd cut off this enough to get this chip down to where it's an actual shelf. I ended up with some scratches. I must have got it too close to that wheel. Okay, that one took the longest so far for this first wheel. Which still wasn't all that long. Got what looks like scratches going across this, but from working one of these stones before, what it is you can see the lines in this yellow. Limonite staining going across. That's actually replaced wood fibers, I do believe, or some such. But the lines are right here in this area and this area. Wherever there's white coming down through this, the white and red all have, those lines are taller, they're harder than the rest of the rock, so they're staying there and the rest of the rock is caving in underneath them. So they look like scratches, but they're not. It's just soft spots in the wood. I can get them out though. Okay, that's looking good enough to take the next wheel. Well, that yellow's taking a beating inside them scratches. You can still see it, but it's deeper. Because you can see that there are scratches inside those fractures. As you can see that there's space in between them now, where before all you could see was the yellow, like that. You can still see the yellow, but you can also see the fracture. Oh yeah, I'm getting more of those soft spots out now. I may be wearing down the lines themselves, making it all the same height too, I don't know. But I'm thinking the grit's too small to reach down in there as fast as it's going over top of it. It's skipping in between, not touching the rock in between the lines. Yeah, because you can hardly tell they're there now. Of course, I never did show them to you before, but hopefully you can see them. I'll be able to tell when I edit. Turn it sideways, probably easier to get the whole rock in there. Might not be any easier to show that up, but I have 4 different lights to choose from to reflect it off of. That one's ready to go to the last wheel, except for the area that I stripped, that I thought was leaving the black mark or brown on the wheel from the wheel, and the area that I got the chip out of. I hadn't touched it yet on this wheel. Oh. You probably won't be able to tell because you haven't been looking at this as long as I have, and looking at it that close, it chipped off some more of that. So now the place that I was trying to shine isn't going to shine anyway because it's chipped off. But that works for me. I did have a little bit on this side of it that was dull, rounded also. That's a piece of that bark come off in my lap. I'll never be able to tell where it came from though. Probably right there. Yep, that's where it came from. So you can see the chip below it where it chipped out. I chipped some off of it. Now I can't get it out of there. There we go. I just couldn't get my fingernail in there to get the right place. Okay, I'm going to take this to the next wheel. I don't know if this is doing any good, but I'm figuring something else I could try to see if you can see how shiny that is. We'd see that there aren't any of those lines left. What I was talking about a minute ago. Got to show it over here first before I took it up to the other. Oh, come on. No, that's what it is. I don't know if that's close enough to see either, but four lights. Okay, that's 3 down. Shoot. Got any more samples over there I need to polish? I think that one's going to take too long because I got some nasty scratches on it from something. Plus it's a bit thick. I don't think I could make any calves out of it to mount to anything. But it might not look too bad with it polished on this end. But I'll just finish this one and call it a day. This one might take a little while because it looks like it's got some real soft spots in it with a bunch of crystals. So it may take a little bit. It may not either because I can't see any curve marks on it. None. I can see some. You can see the shiny spots, I hope. Wow, it's not even reflecting any of that light. There goes a little. There's some shiny spots that one comes across this way, one goes back up like this. Another one goes back up like that, and this one goes up like that, but I don't know what the heck that is. That's probably saw marks, but there is no kerf marks in there. I don't even think I'm going to go to that disc. I may have a little bit, I've got a little bit of saw mark there and right there, which just amounts to scratches coming down like this. And then a big scratch right there, but it doesn't look all that deep, and it may be a fracture even. There's a fracture coming up through here too. Okay, let's just go this way. That way I won't have to move the camera. Thought I was going to get a shower there for a minute. Luckily, this one doesn't have any real sharp spots on it. But it could be used to cut ropes in a kidnap situation in case you ever got kidnapped. So just keep that in mind. Ooh, that's a gouge. That's not a... That is a cut mark, but it's also a gouge. But I think I should still be able to get it smoothed out. It's just a sample anyway, so... Got another one. That's where I cut off the tag in, right there. Yeah, that's going to take a little longer to get off. Okay, that's a fracture. Don't need to worry about it. It's not a scratch. Yeah, okay, that's not going to get any shine there. Wait a minute. Not on this disc anyway, or this wheel anyway. I don't think it'll get any shinier on that one either. The soft stuff won't, but the rest of it will. As you can see, some of it's shining. Just a lot of it's not, and I don't think it's going to. This way, let's get it all on camera. And that may be that's just all of the lights. I'm going to change that and see if I can stop that. I think it's on auto. It's got 2 different megahertz settings, or gigahertz settings, or whatever it is for lights. And I think it's set on auto to go between both, but I may have set it to what I thought was American and not European. I know that wasn't a pun or anything. That was one word, not two. Or three, actually. I still got a little bit of that gouge left. No, that gouge was down here. Yeah, I still got a little bit of that left too, but it's in that soft stuff, so I'm not gonna worry about it. That other, I got another gouge right there. Still got water running on that. I shut that water off, which didn't make any difference. I didn't have it on there long enough to worry about. That got it too. And didn't dull it up anymore either. That gouge doesn't look all that bad. I'm not going to worry about it because it also coincides with a color change. So I may have gotten the gouge, or may have put the gouge in there with the stones, just because it was so much softer than the rest. Let's go to this last one and call it a day. If I can keep a hold of it. I'm holding on to the smaller end. It's not very wide and very thick. I mean, really good grip on with a fingertip. And I'm basically just using the pressure to hold it against my fingers that I'm putting on the wheel. Okay, that's as good as that one's going to shine, but it's shining a lot better than it was on the last wheel. Oh yeah, I had to hold it this way. Actually, that one's better. Let's try this one down here. Let me adjust the aim on that. There we go. I need to use that more often. I got water on it again. Then it dried off the back of it. Let me do that. Hopefully on the edge of where the light reflects from, between right out away from that section, you can see the actual gloss of the rock better. You look to the right or left of that row of LEDs. But that's all for these.